We have a squirrel right there, baby squirrel, trying to get out under my car, but it's too low, he can't get out. Good morning, guys. So today we're gonna be working on my friend Kia Forte Koup. We're gonna be slamming this thing. Let me show you. That is freaking insane. It's he has a 19-inch wheels, so that should be interesting to make them work. I never worked with that higher wheels before. Mine has 18s. So he bought Megan EZ Street version coilovers. And we're gonna be, of course, doing his rear too. So follow it, guys, and I'll tell you how to do it. So the first thing you're gonna do, guys, before you lift it up, you're gonna loosen your lug nuts. Then remember, the safety is first. You're gonna put the jack stands on, lift your car up, put it on jack stands, and then remove your lug nuts and remove your tires. Now we're gonna be removing sway bar end link, 2 bolts that hold in brake lines and some other thing, and then 2 bolts that hold in strut and the hub together. Then we're gonna be losing these 3 bolts that hold in strut under the hood, but don't remove them yet, just loosen them. So the sway bar link gonna be 17mm. And the strut bolts usually 18 or 19 in the both sides. I think 19 on the one and 18 on the other side. We're gonna remove 2 bolts that hold in brake line. They are 12mm sockets. Now we're gonna be removing the sway bar link. Just take your tool. If you don't have an air tools, you can still remove by the hand. Then I spray my PVB blaster to lose the bolts because they were kind of a little bit seized in. Then from there you take again your socket and you're gonna remove the 2 bolts that hold the strut bolts together with the hub. So after we remove the top bolt, we find out that he actually has a camber bolt on top for some really reason, but the other side didn't have it. So we removed this one and I used my 2 camber bolts to put it in. So now you're gonna remove these 3 bolts to hold the strut together and hold it with one hand because the strut will just fall off. Then you're gonna remove your strut. Just be careful, don't scratch your paint. Another thing, guys, I would recommend for you that we completely forgot to do, before you do anything, take your measurement tape and measure the gap between the fender and the tire. And then when you start adjusting the coilovers, you will, let's say now you want to lower 1.5 inch or 2.5 inch, whatever you want to do, then you measure it and then you adjust the coilover to the height that you want to save up some time. So now we're going to be doing adjusting the coilovers. So what you're going to do, you're going to loosen the lower locking ring and you're going to spin it counterclockwise. So when you start get loose, lift it up the measurement that you want. Then what you're going to do, you're going to take the bottom part of the strut and just spin it all the way up until you hit this black locking ring and it will get tightened together. So here, guys, you can see I brought my measurement tape because I forgot to measure the height of the car. So I raised this locking ring to 1 inch of tread left, so I know that other side gonna be set the same way. Now the correct way to adjust the height, you're gonna take the wrench and you're gonna take the very top ring and you're gonna spin it clockwise and it will lower it down. If you want to raise it, you're gonna take the other wrench and you're gonna put it in the middle locking ring and spin counterclockwise and it will raise the strut up. But make sure that you loosen the bottom black locking ring first. So after you do all this stuff, make sure that again the measurements are exactly like you want, so you will check it probably 3 or 4 times. Now after that, we're gonna put everything back together. So you're gonna put the strut in, then you're gonna put the 3 bolts on top. Just don't tighten them yet, because we'll have to adjust some things. Then you're gonna put the hub in, put the 2 bolts that hold in strut and the hub together. Then we're gonna put the sway bar link, and then we're gonna, in the really end, we're gonna put 2 bolts that hold in the brake line and the sensor in together. And that's it. Just make sure everything tight and you're done with one side. And now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I already loosened the bolts. I'm gonna hammer them out to make it easier to remove them. After you set the height of these coilovers again, you're gonna put everything back together. The hardest thing, believe it or not, is going to be not installing the coilovers, is going to be to set the height that you actually want. It will probably take you about 2-3 times, unless you know what you're doing, to set exactly how you want it. But make sure that you measure and then lower it. And look at this fitment, it's crazy. We didn't really put camber bolts this time yet, and look how close it is. There's almost no gap at all. So here's the owner, his name is Santiago. Check his Instagram page, link gonna be right here above. And now we're gonna start doing the rear. The first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna put your jack stands and you're gonna lower car on top of it. Now what I did, so I put jack right under the axle beam, right in the middle, and then put 2 jack stands on both sides. And now we're gonna lose 2 bolts that hold the 2 shocks in the top and in the bottom on both sides. And then you're gonna just lower jack a little bit, and then axle beam gonna go lower down. So now I'll be removing this bolt, is 17mm, and the bottom one gonna be 19mm. Just lose them and this strut is gonna fall down completely. So you can see right now I'm removing the strut and lowering the jack, and then you can see that springs are losing the pressure. Now we're gonna adjust the shock height. I usually just go all the way down. So you spin it all the way up the blue locking ring, and then spin the bottom part all the way up until it cannot move anymore. And then put the locking ring blue one down, just tighten it all together. So we finished to do suspension in Santiago's car. We put the coilovers and we almost maxed it out. He has about 1.5 inches more to go, but right now you can see the fitment is pretty crazy. Like you can put the finger in, but it's just pretty crazy. So we have to probably roll his fenders with a heat gun, and I don't know if he's gonna do it. I'm gonna make a video of that. So that's it. It looks pretty sexy. We're gonna lower the rear, show you how it looks, and that's it, guys. If you have any questions, comment below, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Holy crap. Let me show you. That is freaking insane. Oh yeah. And the same in the front. Crazy.